Okay, so I just received this package from Agena Astro, which I gotta say I love they're just right on the ball when it comes to shipping. I get things so quick from them. But this is an iOptron permanent pier for telescope mounts. It is their number 8038-900. So we're going to do an unboxing. We're going to take a look at how it was packaged and see what it looks like. So this is kind of a two-part video. So I want to see how this is packaged. We're going to take a look at the pier, and then I'm going to tell you why I did not buy a SkyShed Pier, and show you with my emails. So I want to see how this came to me, how it looks as far as paint, and then I'm going to show you, like I said, why I did not buy a SkyShed Pier and will not. And again, I'll show you the email correspondence between Wayne at SkyShed. So let's take a look. We're going to take a look at the sides to see if there's any damage to the sides of this. And this is the top side that we just saw. And then we'll take a look at the bottom, which you'll see. And then let's look at this edge here that we haven't looked at yet. A little something there, no big deal. And here you see it, there's the bottom, and what I did is I took the side that was there and I just brought it forward. So I rotated it down 90 degrees. Alright, I've already cut the tape, so let's open up the lid and see how they've packaged it. So this is really nice. Here's the base of the unit. Here's the top piece. Really nice. And they've got it suspended with the styrofoam. Then here in the center, as you can see, they've got that. So what I want to do now is we're going to take it out and we're going to take a look at the paint. And again, there's a reason for me talking about the paint and about SkyShed. Now, one thing I want to show you is how I marked this. I suppose you wouldn't have to, but I just like to do this in case for some reason you're going to sell it. I don't see any reason for this to do that, but especially when I get a telescope or mount from Astrophysics, especially their mounts, they have those packaged in such a manner that I will, so we know that this side is the top, we know that this was the top, okay, so the top side goes here, this styrofoam's the top, the base goes here, and this part of the styrofoam is up. Again, that might be a little picky, you probably don't need to do it with this. But when it comes to, like I said, the Astrophysics mounts, they really have those packaged. And then even with those, I'll take pictures. But, so let's pull this bad boy out of here and see what we got. And then just a quick look here to see what we got. Okay, guys, as I stated, this is the iOptron permanent pier for my equatorial mounts. And it is the iOptron number 8038-900. I paid $528 from Agena, and there was no shipping. And I got this thing in just a few days from California, and so I've been very happy. And then I had to pay tax. Of course, you cannot forget Uncle Sam. But I know I keep stressing about scratches. And you're probably asking yourself, well, why do you keep stressing over scratches? And we're going to get to that. But let's take a look at this. I got to say, I'm very impressed for the money. This is aluminum. The bottom, there is no, it's not closed off. It's open in the bottom. I think these were 12 millimeters. So I've got 1/2 inch anchor bolts, and I'm going to just open them up a little bit, obviously, to get the 1/2 inch in there. And if I recall, like I said, 12 millimeters. And so yeah, we'll take a look at this, and then I'll tell you why I was stressing about scratches. And by the way, this thing came unscathed. Not a scratch on it. Not a scratch on it. It is beautiful. Again, like I said, I am quite impressed. Very impressed with what I got for the money. And so what I'm going to do is I may get another one of these. But right now, I want to have a, because I've got like 4 or 5 spots in, I've got 4 acres of yard, and one of them is if I ever did an observatory where the center of the pier would be. And then, having been a carpenter, I would build my own observatory, roll-off roof. But I want to try this. So instead of having to take out my tripod, I could save by just having this permanent pier set up. I would have everything up here. I would make a special cover that would fit over this at the top. And if it works good, I'm going to do another one. But I've got a contractor that I know that's going to come out. And I anticipate doing a 18-inch, have an 18-inch hole bored in the ground, 6 or 7 feet down, put some rebar in it, build a form at the top, get it nice and level, as level as I can, and then I'm going to anchor this to the very bottom. And I'll when I get all that, when I get to that here, probably, hopefully within a few months, I'll do a video. But then if I have to, I'll just shim a little here at the bottom and put some really good industrial caulk underneath of it to keep out water and for drainage. In fact, I may probably want to actually keep that open. I kind of don't want to get bugs in there is what I don't want, but I'll look at that. And so that's my plan on getting this. This will stay out in the open. Okay, it won't be housed. So just so that you know, that's my plans. Now from the base to the top, it is 900 millimeters, which is equivalent to 35.433 inches. The pier diameter is 7 1/8 inch. The pier's wall thickness is 1/4 of an inch. The top plate is 8 1/4 by 8 1/4 inches square. Maximum payload for this pier is 360 pounds. And the material is aluminum alloy. Warranty is 1 year limited. And the surface is anodized. Let's take a look at the bottom. You can see where they've got the bolts that anchor the struts to the outside. Now they've got multiple holes in the top, and this is for various different mounts, because I know I spoke to a Roger at iOptron, which I like. They actually have USA representation that you can speak to on the phone, because I always have questions for things, and I love it when you can speak to a human being. I get so much more done than back and forth emails. And because even now I'm looking at getting a high-end scan tool, and there's 2 companies I want to look at. The one company takes forever, 5, 6, 7 days to get back to you, and then you've got more questions. They don't have U.S. representation. And the other company, I just called them again this morning for the 2nd time. just to tighten up a few questions. And that's the company I'm going to be buying from, because they're easily accessible, and I like that. So I was very happy that iOptron, 2 phone calls, because I wanted to check something else the second time. So anyways, I gotta say, I am extremely happy with this purchase. I gotta be honest, I didn't expect to have anything this nice. It's beautiful. Beautiful job, iOptron. Beautiful job. So, here's the question. All you AP astrophysics fanatics are probably saying, well, will the astrophysics flat surface adapter fit the already bored holes, drilled and tapped holes, that are in this pier top? The answer is kind of yes. So let me explain. But first, now I've got several. I can't even tell you how many of these I have. But these are the older ones that have just a tap, or just a through hole that goes around the perimeter. And the newer design has actual slots cut in it. Now, here's why I want this. Because once I set this up, get it all leveled and tweak it in, what I want to do is, I've got 2 Mach 2 mounts. This is ideal for a Mach 2 mount. So the beauty of this is this will be permanent in the yard. I take the mount out there. I'm going to make a custom cover. I already know how I'm going to make it. And I want to put the Mach 2 mount. I'll have one that's designated for this pier, because the beauty of that is I'll have the holes to where they just line up. When I put the Mach 2 mount on here, I may have to do just a hair of tweaking using their polar scope, the astrophysics polar scope. I'm anticipating some minor tweaking to get it set up, and you're good to go. Instead of having to take out my Eagle tripod, and then you've got because it's never going to set up the same. So this will save a lot of time. But so let me show you what I'm talking about up here as to why I said yes, maybe. And I'd have to look. I don't have it in front of me what these are tapped, the size. But if you notice, these are 5/16 button head. These are 5/16 Allen head, button head, stainless steel. And I just dropped them in there. So basically what's happening is this is sliding through those 320-degree drilled holes, which are bigger. So I don't have to do anything. So as you can see, that fits right down there. Well, this is beautiful for me, because I didn't know if I'd have to do some retapping, locating, which is no big deal for me, but I think most people wouldn't want to have to do that. So then all I've got to do is just take it apart here and then lift this top cap off and bolt it down through the bottom, and I've got this nice and rigid now, and good to go. So I'm very happy. Like I said, it came in beautiful shape. I just can't say enough for the quality of this pier. And here you can get a feel for how nice that little bit of slop there. Like I said, because those are oversized, that's beautiful. This works out great. Don't have to do any screwing around at all. Just put nylox on the bottom of that. I'll probably use a washer, and a lock washer, and then nylox. Anchor that bad boy down, and we're golden. Now you might say, well, gee, this 35 inches isn't tall enough. Well, I've got 4-inch and 8-inch extensions. I've got several of each from Astrophysics. So, and I didn't take these off, but these, this will set all the way down in here, and then you can anchor the extension to the flat surface adapter using a 4-inch or the 8-inch, and you can get that pier diameter or the pier height higher should you require that. In fact, let me just show you. I actually set it down in there. So as you can see, easily accommodating to extending that pier height. I don't know that I'd want to go double up. You know, I don't know that I'd want to add another 4-inch on top of here or go another 8-inch. I myself would feel comfortable with either putting one 8-inch high or 4-inch high extension tube. And I've got some anchor bolts, and you know what? They go right in there. Wow. Now that's nice and snug. I didn't think it would, because I thought, yeah, that's beautiful. Because I actually bought 8, 10, and 12-inch, and I'm probably going to use, I think this is the 10-inch. I'm going to use 12-inch ones, and when I get ready to do that, I'll show you how I'm going to get this to make sure this is perfectly accurate when I set these into the concrete. I'll do a video of boring the whole process. But yeah, I just thought I'd check it. And by God, 1/2 inch does go in there. That's beautiful. One of the things I just want to point out here, I don't know if the camera will show it very well, is the attention to detail. The surface finish is excellent. All the corners are smooth, they're chamfered. The base is the same way. I mean, there's no sharp edges on here. I look at all the little details. I certainly would think that if this would fit your needs, that this would probably be an excellent pier for you. I would highly recommend it if this was something, like I said, that would fit your needs with your telescope weight and size and mount. Alright guys, now I want to be clear with the rest of this video that I've never seen a SkyShed Pier in person. I'm not going to knock the quality. I have no idea. But you'll see what I'm talking about, but I just wanted to make sure I qualify the following. You know, when I show you what my concern is in buying a SkyShed Pier. And remember that iOptron came all the way from China, slow boat from China, and it came in beautiful shape. So just wanted to make sure that I got that out there before we continue with the video. Alright, so in the process, he sent me a bunch of literature, which, in all honesty, I didn't need most of it because he was in kind of a hurry when I called him on the phone. Well, I'll just send you everything out. That's how I do it, which is fine. But had I asked a few questions that I wanted initially, we wouldn't have needed all that. But so his first email to me, this is what he had in it. Shippers will do their best to scratch or rub our powder off the pier. Use a $3 can Rust-Oleum black gloss to cover up. I touch up my piers every 3 years or so to make them look like new again. Now, I'm not sure what the hell is meant by that, but let's just look at what he said. If they're going to get scratched, then why aren't you supplying me the can? And the other side of the coin is, I've talked to quite a few different people and read them this. They all had the same thing. He's doing something wrong in shipping. Now, my investment would be, the pier would be $950. The top piece, which I'm not sure I was even going to get that, because I was going to fabricate something myself, would be $150, and then shipping was $275. So if I went along with this, my investment would have been $1,375. Now, I'm not sure if there was tax. I don't know, because they're out of Canada, so I don't know. But in any event, I got a major problem here. Shippers will do their best to scratch or rub our powder coat off the pier. So you're going to powder coat something with nice powder coating, and then you want me to use a $3 can of Rust-Oleum? You know, now I want to make this clear. This will be sitting out in the yard. 24/7, 365. Now, if down the road it gets rusty or something, then that's on me. I'll take care of that. But when I spend that kind of money, I don't care if it's $50. It should come to me in as new condition. So Wayne, this is totally unacceptable. And again, I don't know if anybody else has gotten their Piers. Is this a problem? But he reiterates it. He did it a second time. So again, you're doing something wrong, Wayne. I don't know what to say, but that is totally unacceptable for me to receive something that could be a $1,375 investment, and you're going to tell me to use spray paint on your powder coat. Astrophysics would never do that. Never would they say something like that. So as I stated, when I buy a product, I want to make sure it fits my needs. And so I always like to ask questions. So I sent a response email back with a few other questions. And you'll see, I have in there, as per your email, and I copied and pasted what he said. Then you'll see what I said at the bottom. Could you please elaborate on the above statement? Now, I knew what it meant, but I wanted to know, what's he talking about? Because it made no sense that a business would alert you ahead of time that it's going to get scratched and that they really don't give a flip about it. And then they're going to tell me to buy a can of spray paint, which if somebody would accept that, then at the very least, they should provide you the can of spray paint. So again, I just wanted to see what his answer was. Basically, at that point, I was done with them. I was done with the company when he said this. But for my own personal knowledge, I wanted to know what he meant. And then here, because I had mentioned that it was just going to be out in the open, uncovered, but I'm going to make a cover for the top, but the rest of it I'm not. And then and that's why he said here, why wouldn't you put a bag over it? Regardless, you wipe it down once a year with this, whatever it is, type protectant. You touch it up every few years with one of those tiny cans of Rust-Oleum paint. And again, had he just spoke to me in the beginning, I would have told him, you know, he sent me a lot of literature, which was useless to me because I don't need my handheld to do this. So kind of wasted a lot of my time. And even in the second email, he's trying to babysit me on how to do things, which I didn't need. So whatever, that be as it may, I was done with him before that. Now he reiterates again, you may need to do that after UPS delivers. I'm not kidding. That info is included in my shipping info. To be ready to get a $5 can of paint to touch up what UPS scratched off. I'll leave it at that, guys. Unacceptable to me. Now, maybe there's guys that don't care to spend that kind of money, or even more if you have a taller pier, because that's only based on a certain height, which would have met my criteria. So it would have been that price. But like again, everybody's got expectations. My expectations are when I buy something brand new, you know, it better. We get heavy equipment at work, heavy equipment in that the owner buys, and it comes in pristine shape. So, you know, to say this to a customer, I mean, you turned me off immediately. But I'm glad you said that, because I'll tell you what, had I got that scratched, it would have been rejected. I mean, you know, so you're doing something wrong, Wayne. I'm just going to, everybody said that. That was their first comment. So I don't know, maybe take a trip to China and take a look at this video and figure something out. Maybe hire me. I'll go there. I'll start out at $100,000 for the first month and get you going, and then I'll head back home.